What's up everybody, David Rodriguez here, and in today's video I just wanted to make a quick coaching for beginners and just some tips that have really helped me as a coach. And you'll notice that a lot of them kind of just tie all together. Some of them probably might seem common sense, but nonetheless, here we go. Number one, establishing a personal connection. Now, I know in today's day and age, especially amongst my age group and my peers, that it is cool to be socially anxious and awkward with people. But here's the thing, is that it's not gonna fly, all right? You will have little to no success being weird, awkward, anxious around people. You have to be social, all right? And the easiest way to establish a personal connection with somebody is just to get to know their name. If you can establish a name to a face, boom, that's kind of really all you need. And then from there, you just ask them questions about themselves. And it's even easier if you work at a gym with kids. Because one, you just learn their name, and then two, you just ask them about their day, and then more often than not, they just kind of blat and they just talk their heads off at you. And all you have to do is say, yep, yeah, cool. And then boom, they're happy. And that's what matters. Because now once you've established that connection, they're going to associate you with like, oh, hey, like this person cares. This person has like their best interest for me at heart. And so if you don't even bother to learn people's names, you're never going to make it. And this is harder in a gym setting, or if you have multiple kids per class, or if you do like adults and you have multiple adults per class. It can be hard. I understand. Yeah, it can be very hard to learn names, but take it one day at a time. Try and learn one person's name from each class. Associate the name to a face, or associate a name to something that they do. That's always usually what helps me. And then, so the second tip that I have, again, this seems more common sense, but respect. Now, this is geared more towards children or teenagers. If you work with them, not that it's very easy to give an adult respect. Obviously, if you're working with adults, you have some level of, you're not going to treat them like an idiot. But with kids especially, that's typically what happens, is that, oh, kids are dumb. Kids don't know what they're doing. Teenagers are stupid. Teenagers don't know. But that's not true. Because if you remember as a kid and you remember as a teenager that you had your own set of feelings, right? You had your ideas, you had your thoughts about yourself and others. And then anytime anybody disregarded you, you were like, what the, like, screw that person. Like, I never want to listen to that person ever again. But then those who treated you with respect and with like dignity, or at least like just gave you the benefit of the doubt, you were like, hey, like, and you were typically respectful back. I know the fun stereotype is to be like, oh, these kids are the worst, and kids are stupid, and kids are dumb. But 9 times out of 10, anytime that I've ever treated a kid with like respect, or I've treated a teenager who's kind of had like an attitude, and I'm like, hey, blah, 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 like, you're here to learn, right? And so I'm here to teach you, I'm here to facilitate whatever it is that you're doing. They typically snap out of it. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, like it's time to go, all right? So, and same thing, right, with adults. Just because some adults don't know the best exercises for this or the best exercises for that, or don't even know which food has protein in it or which food has carbs, alcohol is bad, obviously don't treat them like they're stupid for it, or don't treat them that they're less than anything else. They're here, everybody has their journey. You are obviously much farther than they are, and it is your job as a coach and your job as a mentor to facilitate their journey. Number 3 that's helped me is 3 and 4 will pretty much go together, but knowledge is power. Now, what do I mean by that? Is that knowledge is power in that when it comes to teaching people, it's very easy to kind of like give cues and and tell them what they're doing wrong. But what I have found that really helps people, and especially helps kids, is that when you talk to them, you ask them, what did you do wrong? what did you feel like you could have done better, right? And then so it makes them think like, oh, I didn't put my feet together, or I didn't do this, or I wasn't like pushing my hips back, or I was leaning too far forwards on my toes, depending on whatever the skill is, right? And then so instead of you just saying, hey, you did this wrong, or hey, keep doing this, keep your arms together, squeeze your feet together, or squeeze your knees together, you just keep giving corrections. But instead, if you actually like teach them and say, hey, again, like I said earlier, right? What could you have done better? And then they'll repeat, and then they'll start thinking, oh, I can do this better. And then you're like, okay, so now you know, now fix it, right? And then more than likely, I've gotten way more success out of trying to help people and help kids by asking them, by getting them involved with the actual process of learning skills than I have with just correcting them time after time after time again. And then so the last thing is your own knowledge, self-study, right? So I know, myself included, that we all like to think that we're the best coaches in the whole wide world. And the unfortunate fact and reality is that we're not. There's somebody out there who is much better, smarter than you at being a coach. And so the best way that you can get yourself into those higher levels is self-study. Knowledge is power, right? So read books on the things that you want to coach. Read books on interacting with people. Read books on maybe like this technique, this new technique that's come out, or YouTube videos. There's tons of YouTube videos for everything. There's a YouTube video for this that I'm making right now. Or find a mentor who's in a similar position that you are, but now they are successful and now they're doing what they want to do. It's basically kind of what internships are, and I was lucky enough to get a great mentor for my strength and conditioning knowledge, and I've used what he taught me and I've applied it to this. Basically, all of this is coming from him, from Levi Memmer of Intensity Training Systems. He's the one who has taught me all of these things and that have really helped me, I feel, as a coach. And so again, right? Self-study, learn more, knowledge is power, all that good stuff. Hopefully these 4 tips helped you. Comment your own personal tips that have helped you, things of that nature. Stomped tricking at Instagram, my personal hotrod_intricate33, and I hope y'all have a good day.